What if the love you've been dreaming of isn't something you find, but something that happens when you finally stop searching? What if the most profound relationship isn't about completion or desire, but recognition? There's something absolutely extraordinary that occurs when two people who have genuinely awakened to their true nature encounter each other. It's not what the romantic novels tell you. It's not what spiritual cliches often describe. It's something far more subtle, far more profound, and in many ways far more beautiful than anything we've been conditioned to expect. Most relationships, if we're honest, are based on a kind of mutual incompleteness. Two people come together because each feels that something is missing, something is lacking, and the other person seems to promise to fill that void. This is what we usually call falling in love. But really, it's falling into need. It's two halves trying to make a whole, two empty cups trying to fill each other, two drowning people clinging to each other in the hope of staying afloat. And there's nothing inherently wrong with that. This is where most of humanity lives. These relationships can still function, even flourish on the surface. They can be pleasant, comforting, even long-lasting. But they're built on a fundamental misunderstanding, the belief that you are incomplete, that happiness exists somewhere outside of you, that someone else can give you what you lack inside yourself. But when two awakened souls meet, something entirely different happens. And here's the first thing you need to understand. Awakened souls don't need each other. Let me say that again, because it changes everything. They don't need each other. They are already whole. They have already discovered that the love and fulfillment they were searching for was never outside of themselves. They've seen through the illusion of lack. They are not limited beings seeking completion. They are the universe itself, aware, alive, and free, experiencing life through a unique form. So when two such people meet, they're not coming together to escape loneliness or to solve an internal problem. They meet because they want to, not because they have to. And that simple distinction transforms the entire experience. The entire quality of the relationship changes from one of hunger to one of fullness, from one of fear to one of freedom, from one of need to one of pure celebration. Think about it this way. When you're starving, you'll eat anything. You don't taste it. You don't savor it. You're just trying to stop the pain. But when you're already full and someone offers you food, you eat slowly. You enjoy it. You taste every bite, not because you need it, but because you appreciate it. That's what happens when awakened souls meet. They're not consuming each other. They're savoring one another's presence, not using each other as a distraction, but celebrating each other as a reflection. And here's something beautiful. Because neither person needs the other, there's no grasping, no clinging, no desperate energy. There's space, there's breath, there's freedom. Each person is completely free to be themselves, to evolve, to grow, to stay, or to go. There's no fear of loss, because nothing is being clung to. No one is trying to turn the other into an idea of what they should be. There's no possession, only appreciation. When an awakened person looks at another awakened person, they don't see someone to fix, to hold, or to complete them. They see the universe looking back at itself. They recognize the same awareness behind those eyes that's behind their own. It's like a cosmic mirror, one consciousness experiencing itself from two different angles, playing a divine game of hide and seek. And that recognition creates an intimacy that most people have never known. Not the kind of intimacy born from fear of being alone, not the urgency of passion rooted in ego, but something far more grounded, spacious, relaxed, natural. It's the intimacy of two dancers moving in flow. They're not holding each other up. They're not pulling each other down. They're simply moving together, effortlessly, with trust, Let me tell you what doesn't happen when awakened souls meet. There's no drama. There may be passion, there may be intensity, but not drama in the neurotic egoic sense. No power games, no manipulation, no need to dominate or submit. Why? Because they've seen through the ego. They're not playing that game anymore. And jealousy? It might arise, as all emotions do, but it's not weaponized. It's not clung to. It's seen for what it is, a passing wave, not a defining truth. There's no fear of abandonment, because the awakened person knows they can never truly be abandoned. Even if the relationship ends, they remain whole, still connected to life itself. Sadness may come, but not despair. Grief may arise, but not collapse. And most of all, there is no attempt to own the other. You cannot possess another soul any more than you can possess the sky. The awakened person sees this clearly. They don't try to cage the bird, they marvel at its ability to fly. So what does happen? First, there is recognition, often instantaneous, not romantic, not infatuated, but deeper. A sense of, I see you, I know what you are. You recognize me because you are me. And in that moment, the masks drop. The ego steps aside. No more pretending, no more performance, just presence. This leads to a different kind of communication. They don't talk to convince, defend, or debate. They speak to explore, to play, to discover the mystery within each other. They can disagree without division, because they're not identified with their thoughts. They know they are the awareness behind the thoughts. They listen not to reply, but to understand. They allow silence not because there's nothing to say, but because silence is sacred. And when they speak, it's not noise. It's a dance. It's art. Even their humor changes. They laugh not at others, but at the absurdity of it all, at themselves, at the divine joke of being human. Even physical intimacy transforms. It's no longer about validation or escape. It becomes a sacred play, a celebration of form, consciousness exploring consciousness. There's no performance, no agenda, no separation, just presence, just being, just love. And here's something profound. They can be together or apart with equal ease. Closeness doesn't mean fusion. Distance doesn't mean disconnection. They move like breath, in and out, together and apart, with rhythm, not resistance. And when conflict arises, as it always will in life, they don't fight to be right. They don't need to win. They seek to understand. They speak from presence. They apologize when needed. They forgive easily, not to keep score, but because it's natural. Their generosity isn't forced. It flows from fullness. They give because it's joyful to give. They support each other's growth, even if that growth leads them in different directions. And perhaps most astonishing of all, they are not attached to forever. They're not trying to guarantee a future. They're present now, completely. And paradoxically, that lack of clinging often allows the relationship to last longer and go deeper. There's surrender, not to each other, but to life itself. They don't force the connection to be anything. They allow it to become what it is, to evolve, to breathe. In each other's presence, they become more themselves, more real, more awake. Each soul amplifies the awakening of the other, like tuning forks vibrating in harmony. Even the mundane becomes sacred. Doing laundry, making tea, sitting in traffic. Everything is infused with meaning, with aliveness, with presence. And yes, they feel all the emotions, attraction, affection, jealousy, anger, sadness. They just don't become them. They don't identify with them. They feel and let go, like weather moving through the sky. And they are the sky. They know the relationship is not the goal. It's not the destination. It's a mirror, a practice, a path. It's consciousness dancing with itself. Love, remembering love. There's a Zen saying, before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. The same is true here. Before awakening, we love. After awakening, we love. But the experience is completely transformed. The form remains. The flavor deepens. And here's the final gift. When two awakened souls meet, their union radiates. Their presence affects the world around them, not loudly, not obviously, but powerfully. People feel it even, if they can't explain it. A calm joy, a grounded peace, a silent invitation to remember what we all are. This is what happens when two awakened souls meet. Not desperate clinging, not romantic fireworks, but something far more precious, a meeting of being, a celebration of wholeness, a dance of freedom, a love without need, a connection without fear, a recognition that there are no two. There never were, there never could be, just consciousness, meeting itself as love.